And what's up? So, taking a look at this finally. Sorry I didn't have free time before now. Um, yeah. So, I watched this game through once in kind of like fast motion. Um, and it kind of seems like you like mostly the right idea as to what to do, but your execution is a little lacking. Like you don't do it so well. And then I think also sometimes your timing's off, your setups are a little off. So like one thing I really noticed is you could use kind of spider ball, like retract a lot more to throw a grapple somewhere and lurk. Um, so if your team is going to set up here, which also you could set up further back to kind of like dissuade them from hanging out here because it's a really bad choke to hold, especially with a wrecking ball, because they'll have to like back up over this space here, which is like really wide out in the open. But if they are going to be here, probably I would like grapple retract and hide my ball like here, something like that, or even just be on the ground here. But it makes it just like a little easier to get around, get out to high ground for free. You could also maybe set up back here, and maybe your team would realize they need to be further back. Usually on this point, I go for some sort of grapple up here and kind of like lurk around here. And just for context, I'm a Masters console wrecking ball player. So I also play Diva though. I switch off of wrecking ball. I'm super willing to do that. Unlike a lot of people on that subreddit. But I just think sometimes certain maps versus certain comps, sometimes your team's too dumb to play with a wrecking ball, and so I find it's a little easier to be able to play a couple other tanks. So even now, because of this setup, right, we weren't really in a good spot to do something to help our team, right? We basically want to slam either, it depends on sort of the tank matchup, but like either when a tank walks forward, like right as the tank's walking forward, or just a little after. Um, versus Hog, you usually want to see if you can bait a hook or something and kind of stop them from moving forward because he wants to like take a little space and then fish for a hook and then walk a little further up, fish for another hook from that angle. So you kind of beat him with tempo and by keeping him in the same position so that he can't like threaten a better hook. So again, if we'd been set up back here, we probably could have like rolled through and slammed, like serve them up right here in front of the choke. We could use our shield. We could get a 5-man shield and live the hook, right? If our BAP wasn't an idiot, we could also be set up a little further back and just start shooting to try and get the hog fishing for a hook on us and not our team. Anyway, a little mechanics there. I love that you're behind your team. And just kind of separating them out and slowing them from walking up point, especially since your BAP died, you're just trying to stall. And holy crap, your Junkrat has died. We already have the Sombra. We don't care. So like these rotations don't do that much for you, right? If we want to go around, we can just grapple up here and retract, and it's faster. And more importantly, we get a much better view, right? We can let go of it and kind of like ride this roof for a second, draw it down, and go for one of those like a roll through slams. Yeah. Like that, but quicker. Because what you're really trying to do is either separate their team, get some guys through, some guys back, or or just kind of slam and keep them in this open spot, like right after the choke. And it kind of depends on your team. You have a Junkrat, so he's like in a BAP. There's a lot of spam, also a Hanzo. There's a lot of spam. Like this area is a pretty good kill box for your team. They can throw a lot of damage down a choke. So I'd probably be looking to separate them out a little. Like I liked that roll through and slam. If you'd been a little faster, you probably could have gotten more of them. And then I'd be looking to disengage. Like we always want to be to the side. We want to leave our engagements like to the side, perpendicular to where our team is, or away, so that they don't chase us into our team. Right? We want to make it hard for them to decide where to shoot. Like they're gonna chase you down, but they can't kill you, or they try to walk into your team and kill them. They back off. You come back in, and of course there's like the mega over here, right? Again, like this rotation, not so good. Same reasons. Although if I saw this read here is on a hard scoped, and do a quick check to see if my team's like walking back or walking forward. Probably what I'm gonna go for is shooting her first a bit to see what happens, and then maybe just like separate her out over here, knowing that she probably is asleep. Yeah, she does. Knowing that she probably is asleep, but I'd be trying to separate her out and get a solo pick on her because she's not going to get any help from her Moira. And I think that's the other problem is a little priority. Like you could be shooting supports a lot more, and especially like on the defense, you need to be looking for the Ana, especially when you hear sleep. She needs to be like a good kill target because Moira's not that good at help, and neither of these supports are that good at helping someone that you're fighting. I like that you dodge it though. I love this. But what I want to see instead... Oh my gosh. When you come through here, I wanted to see you like come over here. Back away this way. So that you're keeping this sort of like perpendicular setup. Your team's over there. You don't want them to go that way, right? And then you have two equally distant megas. They can go through to sustain, although it looks like Sombra hacked one. Like here, I want you to back off this way. Maybe find the Ana. The other thing you could do is just use your grapple. You have pretty good shields out. We could just use our grapple to go again, trying to keep them in this space. Kind of like some sort of spin to win, like maybe on this thing, that thing. We could like roll through, perhaps. Try to get this Ana. Your Hanzo's not that good. There probably, you should have kept the grapple so that you could go around and get some more mobility. This situation here, like if you lost both of your DPS, it's going to be hard to, like the win conditions change, so we have to survive. Help our supports get out, and try to kind of survive somewhere and maybe stall long enough for them to walk back, since it's a short walk back for our DPS. But we really don't want to be grouped up with our team like this as their team is trying to walk forward. It's just like everyone would want to kill us in the same place. And the whole point of Wrecking Ball is that you kind of exist around them. The Ana needs to always be watching her back, right? The Sombra needs to be hunting for you. The Cass is like looking to land his flashbang. right? I don't mind the decision to get out here. I would have maybe considered... What an interesting screen. I would have maybe considered trying to play it deep over here. But, because now you have to, like, enter, and I don't think you're going to be able to stall the point. And it's fine. You did lose both your supports. It's probably not holdable, especially with their comp that, you know, they have a pretty good counter comp on you. They've got 3 stuns, 4 if you count hack. You know, this is very hard to play Wrecking Ball into. Like, your best targets are all people who can also mess you up. Which means you need to be, like, baiting out abilities quite a lot. And hanging out sort of near them and rolling through a bunch. So we're trying to get value from our grapple a little more than our slam, because if we slam, it's like super telegraphed and it'll just blow us up. But considering we gave this up, we probably want to set up somewhere, again, with a spider ball or sitting out over here, hanging here. People like to come around here, so I like to be, yeah, here-ish. I like to be able to see what's going on here, what's going on here. I like just shooting the Sombra. It's always worth to shoot the Sombra, but again, like, we're sort of with our team. They're set up here, and now we have to figure out, like, how we can get somewhere to do something when they all know which way we're going. So, like, all 4 of these characters on the front line are making plans to, like, try and kill you, right? Excuse me. I would have much rather seen you go, like, when we rolled through here. Never mind. That's a lot in the back. I would much rather seen you go this way, I think. Or, yeah, fireball through here. There's kind of a long rotation, so probably, like, the other thing's shorter. But trying to get to this area here. Fight for the mega. You have a mega here, you know? We're just like, on defense, we keep falling back to these positions where we're, like, starting from square one. And, like, you have to do, you know, you're full health. You have shields. And you just have to do, like, an entire setup where they can kind of see where you're going to go and stuff. And the whole point of Wrecking Ball is that you need to kind of set up quicker. You can take these long these long paths, and he's really fast at it, right? So he can get to places that other tanks can't quickly, and then, like, engage from there all of a sudden. Yeah, but you're not being very sneaky against a team that, like, if they know where you're gonna be, they can absolutely destroy you, right? So that's kind of fundamentally the problem. This is great. This is, like, old economy stuff. But again, like, we're not able to do much with that ult because we're not in a good place. We could share our shields. Do we do that? No. Yeah, I don't think I see you sharing your shields, but I was watching in fast motion, so. This is a good fight. Going on to the Ana is good, shooting her is good. Again, we got that mega. We also have our shields here. Yeah, nice. See, it's not the best execution, but what you're doing that's good here is you're gumming up the works, right? They want to walk forward, and you're like, deal with me in the back. I'm annoying. Yeah. And even now, like, you're coming up where this hog wants to go, right? Um, he's like, it's platinum, and he's like, I need to hook this ball and assert dominance. You need to like know the people who are trying to look at you and like manage that and get them to look somewhere that's like more convenient for your team, right? So, like running to this Junkrat is gonna get him killed, and that rollout again, like, it turns him. I'm down for that, I guess. For me, I would have like probably grapple retracted and tried to get over here or something like that, or even tried for some sort of slam like here, where it's hard to hook flashbang sleep because of the natural cover around it, right? But, that's fine. That's like working the way it's supposed to. Let's go a little forward. The shooting is like kind of fine, but we really don't do a lot of damage at this range. So we're just gonna try and get. We don't necessarily want to be in this spot for that long. If you're gonna poke with your guns, that's fine, but then you've revealed your location, right? So I would just change up, like come over here or something. Over here maybe, if you know they're gonna try and do this standard rollout, right? Because we're trying to set up for our mines. I like that you just take the fight with the Sombra. Aw, we could have gotten that. Mine's here. Like right there. Maybe now that they backed off, we wait. But we're really broadcasting our shit here, yeah. And it's like we're just a crappy soldier 76 or something here, You have like 775 health, your Reaper's in. Your Brig is like kind of forward. We need to be supporting that, We have a shield cooldown. We killed their hog. This is kind of I'm not gonna say throwing, but like these guys should not be out here. If they are, you should kill them. And you have your team is all like alert, right? And even if we get hacked, we slam. Even if we get hacked, we have our shields. That means somebody's revealed herself. The Reaper can kill her. The Brig can kill her, right? We should be probably going on either this guy or this guy and trying to keep them in while their hog is out. A roll's kind of this way. A slam here, ideally, right? We should just be cleaning up these squishies. And we're the tank. It's our job to do that. And part of the reason you can't is you're set up here where it's like look how obvious you are to this cast, right? And this is kind of like your whole problem in a nutshell. It's like they always sort of know where you are. And then this kind of roll through, we're just late. Like, the read we need to make here is like, we're fighting. They're fighting without a tank. They're peeking this angle. Just slam or something. Yeah, slam, grapple, spin around. Make it really, really, really annoying them. And look your Reaper wants to fight, right? So we help him. Share shields. Or there he's in, right? So I'll try that to like maybe just like not anticipating exactly. But the reason your team dies there is because you're not going in and using any of your abilities to help them fight. And we're here. We didn't roll out with a grapple for some reason. Oh no, here. Now we have it. We've got to be looking for some sort of probably setup, right? Our team's actively dying. Grapple up here, maybe. Spider ball. Or try to roll through all the way. Fireball and see, like, we could maybe get at this person. We could maybe stall the cart down here. Yeah? If we can keep the cart here, it's very difficult for them to push it up this ramp, right? Like, waiting here and shooting, they're just gonna find you and try and kill you again. And I also don't get this role where you're just kind of bringing them to your team, like you're guiding them to where they should go instead of distracting them to where they don't want to go, right? We're up here. Where's the cast? Yeah. We're up here. And this is like a perfectly good spot, especially if we didn't reveal ourselves and we're like hiding. Because we can just use the payload to kind of track. We're sort of the least mobile heroes under Timar, right? They're going to ride payload. And like Anna's our number one mine target, right? Cass, when he rolls, we can get him too. So we needed to wait for the cart to be just a little like out here, because people take cover behind it if they're smart. And then we could just like do a jump, like a mine slam. Yeah, nothing we can really do for a team over here. We're a shitty, shitty, shitty frontline tank, right? So it's just kind of a bad mines, right? Like, compared to here where they can't like back off as easily, right? Now the cart's a little in the open. They can get around to different spots. You might get a kill, but it was sort of super telegraphed. Super telegraphed. It's like not that valuable space compared to, up here where Hog wants to play. I guess like Cass is on cart. But we needed to be looking for the Ana primarily here and really get it on top of her. And part of it is you're just too low. And there's no slam. But also look how you don't care when you have shields. You just engage your whole team. So we're just kind of late here. We didn't stall really. We could have like grappled and played ring around the Rosie a little. Or did a spin to win. The Hoggle, like it's annoying how he can solo out you, but if you have a grapple, you can kind of dodge it because you're pretty fast. But yeah, basically like we just didn't really take a fight in a better spot for us. It's hard for Wrecking Ball, like once it gets kind of here, and they can glom up because there's this cover here before the payload gets capped. I like that you know that Mega's there. I like that you live. But it seems like, again, we're kind of resetting to square one, right? I would have much rather you just like fought on this payload and died. I think it's functionally the same thing, right? Except you feed them. Well, you just feed them. I'll charge either way. The other thing you could have done is maybe just like fully ran away. Like go down here, grab this mega, that kind of thing. Again, we're leading them where they want to go, right? And even now, like, we have an Ana coming out of spawn. We're low health. Just roll to her, give her the ult charge at least. Because you fed them a bunch of ult charge, right? So here again, like, you see what's going on? It's kind of the same pattern over and over, right? We're like shooting at this range, and we don't, like, Cast doesn't do that much damage at this range, and we do even less. And we're also like, I'm over here. I'm gonna go this way, right? You should be just setting up. I don't mind you going here. You can retract up here. Probably the best place to be. And then we'd have our grapple suitor. We could retract and head up here and kind of make a read. Maybe drop down, take this flank. We need to be thinking about also like when to slam. We spent all this time setting up, so our DPS, like, they're positioned erodes and they die, right? And again, like, if we'd maybe gone back here or something and been set up a little sooner, we could be in, like, when the fight's happening. But instead, the fight's happening, they've walked to your brig, they're going to fight her, right? And we're not doing anything to stop them from doing that. Just shooting a bit from the high ground. Again, right? Just fighting them from just kind of in front of them, kind of main. Like a crappy diva. Like a crappy Melga almost. Here we go. We're right by Omega, we don't need it though. If we'd been closer to the cast, we would have done more damage, could have killed him. I probably would have stayed here and stayed on the Ana. I heard Sleet Dart, right? He has damage resistance in his thing. We just stay on a cart, we stay on the Ana, we can test the cart. I also think you could just be contesting the cart a little more. It's hard versus team because they're really going to explode you. If you're going to engage the cast, we need to be going like here so we can peek him. Instead of this like medium distance thing. Right? Also, you gotta hit your headshots when he's standing still. But again, like, I think the fundamental thing is you need to be shooting supports a lot more. They have a lot of healing, but crappy peel. Their DPS peel really well. But their supports are pretty bad at pocketing each other. So let's look at attack. Like, I don't like that roll. Sorry to pause so often. You kind of have a few options. We can go top rope and retract. And we can get pretty far into the point. Probably a bad idea. Probably we want to scout. We could retract up here and scout. And kind of roll on the roof again. usually most wrecking balls roll out like either this way or this way. If I come in and see this comp, it's super static. I'm thinking, okay, I need to kill the turret as soon as I can. And it's a SIG, he's way too far up. So if I force him to rotate, he's really bad at rotating, as in moving. He's good at holding a place, but he's bad at moving away from it. I'm thinking I need to touch point as soon as possible. As soon as I see that. And you could also go up here and you could retract up this way. And drop and like fireball over there too. Right? We can see these outlines and hear that Ash is shooting. We need to be doing something about now. We want to check on our team. They're wanting to peek, right? Is that, I guess, father? What's he doing? Oh no, he's right there. We need to be moving through somehow and maybe getting a little attention to make some space at the choke for our team. And also, this attack, the primary reason you have such a hard time is you just don't shoot Mercy. And again, it's like she's a Moira. Moira sucks at healing the other healer. We need to be shooting Mercy. We need to get big shields so we don't care about their damage and shoot Mercy. And just like the other thing is just keeping in mind what your goal is here. This comp is better to play into as Wrecking Ball. It's still pretty tough because you need to keep track of rock. Torb, if he uses his overdrive, like when that's done, he's a really good kill for you. But you need to space it right with a shotgun. Be like a little, like kind of this distance and hit your headshots. But here, part of the thing, like we have a Mercy she can res, right? Part of the thing is like we're diving into all of their team. And we're fighting them in a place where our team can't shoot them yet. Our goal right now is for our team to walk through this choke and be able to spam this thing. So picking a fight with a Cass in front of like all these guys taking the rock and stuff is sort of the worst decision. You could just keep on putting the point pressure on. The Mercy's over there, right? Make them adjust to you. So I would be like touching point here, shooting this guy. Looks like the turret's dead, so you don't have to worry about that. So you'd be shooting Torb or be shooting Moira. And then when they rotate, that's when I like grapple, come around, or grapple a lamppost, and engage with this Cass who's then left behind, right? And our team hopefully is walked through and can shoot him too. So it's just like, it's sort of order of operations, I think. Like your goal right now is just to get your team through the choke, and then we can worry about killing guys. I like that you share your shield there. I like shooting this guy too. I would even consider going for a slam on him to keep him up and in further than he wants to be. Keeping in mind that these dudes are going to be trying to shoot me from here, so I'd probably be like slam and roll over here like a little earlier than where it is now. And just see if I can get him to waste something. Waste a rock on me. Waste his suck. Because he got slammed. Again, this rollout is just super telegraphed, right? It doesn't really let you do all that much. It's just much better to retract over the top. Over here, if you want to threaten this Cass. let go, we roll on this thing, we drop, we grapple, we fireball them off the high ground, we slam them right here in the choke where a team can just like wail on them with all our ranged DPS. I'll let you kill the turret here. Right, the whole thing is like... And now we're starting over. You see how they just like just come back to the choke here. The whole thing is we're sort of doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. So we kill this. We're half health. We need to be... We killed the Moira. Like, we need to be deepening the threat here. We need to get these guys away from holding this choke. So why not roll out here to this mega, touch point again, right? And touch point long enough for them to turn around, and then we're gonna go like fireball them through, slam them all. Screw it, get a big shield, so they're down one. Try and kill Mercy immediately. She has no one to help her, right? And also we have shields, so arguably you don't even need to... Even just going over here and your shield health will kind of come back. We want to get like some big shields and get our team to just walk on these fools right now, right? And stop the res too. Although I think Amora died in a place that's hard to res. And so instead we're like all the way out and just walk back. We could also be... It kind of doesn't work out like that, but this is a good spin to win spot too, if they're kind of holding around this thing. We could be grappled like here and kind of fireball up, stop, but keep grapple, fireball this way. Yeah, you're just like not having a presence when you need it. But just a little looking at your team. And it's a little just being clear on like what you're trying to do. Oh, close. You know, it's like, I don't know how long's passed in the game, like 2 minutes, and we're, 58% ult charge. Because they're just, like, I'm poking from here, it doesn't do anything. Right? You do very little DPS from this range. And their Sigma is holding a kind of stupid spot. Like, if we go in, like, kind of now, they're separated. We try, again, to boot this guy off high ground, slam him here, he's dead, right? If you were going to poke from here, probably just kill the turret. Fine, we got a big shields. We go on this guy. This is what we need to be doing like years ago. We just grapple here, spin. Keep this Sigma from doing anything. Just go on the Sigma. We got the Sigma separated. What we don't want to do is go right into the cast. This is like the right idea, wrong execution, kind of like what I was talking about. We keep the grapple, we fireball them this way. I know you can do this. We can wall jump here and slam, right? And just slam them, try to kill them. Yeah. We're kind of pushing into a bunch of their team, but not playing it very safe. right? And we had all like we win this fight. The better version of what you did do would probably be to just like roll this way and try to keep them looking back here instead of going towards the point to help their sig. And you have this mini here. You have a mini over there, and you can like roll out around the back and get a good mines off. You also just could have like grappled up here and waited and slammed them. And instead we sort of waste our mines. Ooh, that was close. And it's like a minute left and we're sort of panicking. The other reason it's bad to go through the subway is it's sort of a blind rollout. You don't know exactly when you're coming through here what you're fireballing into. And if you just like, even assuming we're setting up this way, which again, you shouldn't, it's just like so much better to go up. Or to the side over here. Always use the like the long flank routes because you're fast, right? Our team is like here, right? The only person they can shoot that you're going on is like here, this guy. So you come over here, check on your team. Oh, I see the sig. Maybe I can like fireball, boop him, slam him, get him like in a really inconvenient position, right? We want to surround Sigma. Nice wall jump. But here, like we're rolling back to our team, yeah? This just doesn't help your team walk through the choke. We got a big shields. We could have just kept that grapple and used retract to make our spin tighter to damage more people. Look at the mercy too late. So now we're playing for mines, pretty much. Like, when you commit to this, you don't even know, like, Cass has been playing up here with a pocket. Like, if he's standing here, he just, like, you know, flashbangs you, like, fan to hammer, roll fan to hammer, and you're, like, dead, right? With the damage boost. It's just a really bad spot to roll out from. And when you come out, you're, like, center stage. Everyone can see where you're going. You're not confusing anyone, right? And we just also, like, our timing's late, our mines are on the ground, right? We didn't really use them very well. So, based on this game, what do I think you should do? I think you need to check on your team more at the like start of fights, because you're either late or you're early to your engagements. Because you're not thinking about, like, what you want to think about is, like, who can they shoot? Who do I hear shooting right now? Where are they looking, right? And just like, is it time for them to walk through the choke? What do I need to do? Because I think your goals are kind of generally distract. Generally roll through, generally get, like, big shields, generally get big slams. But we need a little more order of operations of, like, I could get a big mines, like, right at this point when the card gets here. So I'm going to wait for that. My team needs to walk through choke. I need to do some things to help them walk through choke. And once they do that, then it's killing time. Um, and just like stop going back to your team so much. You feed a lot in terms of like both the cast and the torb. I think get a fair amount of all charge off of you just kind of rolling around, not doing anything. And then finally, just like we want to fight things closer, we want to set up in like better spots. And we don't always want to give away where we are by like poking and doing like 0 damage from range with our guns. Yeah. Um, it's okay sometimes if you're trying to do something like I'm shooting Hog to get him to chase me because he wants to hook me, right? I'm gonna try and bait the hook by shooting him. Um, I'm gonna try to make the Ana move because I know like Reinhardt just went in, so I'm gonna shoot her so that she feels threatened, so she won't pocket him. I'm gonna shoot someone to get him a little low and then go for a slam, that kind of thing. And then it's just a little mechanics I'd like to see you use retract more for your setups and think more vertically in terms of like, I beat a dead horse about this, but especially like that first point, that rollout through the subway is terrible. Doesn't do anything for you. It costs you a lot of resources. Time and again, you're like rolling out from that thing and you take a bunch of damage. So like when you're supposed to be doing something to help your team walk, um, instead you're like rolling around for a health pack or rolling back to your team, which is even worse. And yeah, I think those are sort of my main things. There's some little things with just using cover, like when you're gonna fight, using some cover, slamming near cover so that you can kind of like line of sight some of their sources of damage, so you're not getting blasted by Torb when you're trying to kill Cass or Mercy, right? Or vice versa. And then yeah, I just think also the minefields just need a bit of work in terms of like when to do it. You have the right macro idea. Like I don't disagree about when you mind like in a broad scope of things. Um, but the execution is pretty poor. Like you don't sort of micro of exactly when to mine or what you're waiting for to mine or exactly where to mine is kind of like tripping things up. So hope that's helpful and let me know if you have questions. All right, good luck.